Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at meta. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are overall tracking a very bullish potential that it has. It could realistically be that this is still part of the entire wave 1 of the initial structure, and this is instead a fifth wave, because this could realistically work out as a 1, 2, 3, fourth and a fifth, but it's not necessarily my preferred interpretation. I actually quite heavily prefer that we actually have a wave 1 top here, we have a wave 2 bottom here, and a third wave would be expected to form within this area, not a fifth wave. Now, even within this interpretation, I would actually expect to build an initial wave 1 to the upside. I wouldn't expect the third wave to form in one go. It would actually be quite difficult to build such a structure in one go, because the ideal target for the wave 3 is here, the $6,200 level, around that area. The 138.2% extension might be slightly different depending on how well I drew based on the exact top and bottom of these structures, but that is the vicinity of the target we are aiming for the larger wave 3. Now, since we are building such a strong push to the upside within this structure, I could very easily see that this is a wave 1 up. We get a wave 2 correction, and after that, the wave 3 extensions could wildly surpass even this ideal target. Within the actual wave 3, we could easily extend even beyond the current ideal target, even beyond the $6,200 level. Now, with that said, we are right now focusing on the internal structure that is to be built within this area. And I have to say, it is a very bullish structure still going on, and as long as we actually hold the areas of support, there is no reason to believe that something as bullish as this isn't forming. And in the white interpretation, we are realistically tracking here a series of 1, 2 setups, and this would be a third wave complete, a fourth wave correction, and then a fifth wave. Well, this would actually assume a quite a weak wave 5, which isn't necessarily the most common within internal core wave 3 patterns. But certainly this is the assumption we are working under within this white interpretation, and we have the area of support between the $618 all the way down to the $467 for continuation higher. But I am also tracking a yellow scenario that allows an extension within this fifth wave, where in the yellow interpretation, the only difference that I'm tracking is that we have here a 1, 2 setup, only the wave 1 of the fifth wave. The wave 1, 2, and 3 remain the same. We have here the same wave 4 correction, and we have a 1, 2 setup here. This is the difference. And we are tracking an internal area of support for such an interpretation between the $656 all the way down to the $534 level. Within this pattern, we can notice that we have formed a nice correction, an ABC structure to the downside into the 61.8% retracement, the inverse of the golden ratio, and we already have an interesting pattern to the upside that has formed. I am not looking for a 5-wave move to form to the downside within this area. We already broke above internal resistance levels that would have allowed this to be a third wave instead, which is a good sign already. And we have a generic resistance area here in orange, but it's nothing highly suggestive of continuation lower. I am actually preferring the yellow interpretation at the moment, where we have an ABC structure complete, and we even have an internal 5-wave move to the upside within this area that we have been tracking since the previous video actually. And exactly that. In the previous video I provided this area of support between the $639 all the way down to the $601 level. We have already reached it within the first retracement, but we had a potential 5-wave move to the downside within this small time frame, and we were actually preferring a larger correction. We were preferring a correction into the area of resistance internally in an ABC movement, and we seem to be following that quite nicely at the moment. Now, no guarantee that we will form a complete 5-wave move to the downside within this area, but if we are to build such a pattern, I would expect at least a tiny continuation to the downside. I would expect a little bit further downside within this area, but it's impressive how nicely we respected this area of resistance before actually heading down within this larger pattern. We had so many attempts to actually break through, so it really looks like it wanted very much to get through in the third wave to the upside already, but we just didn't manage to didn't do it, we didn't manage to break the area of resistance, and now we are getting a reset of the wave 2 correction, which is no problem at all, as long as we hold the 78.6% retracement here, the last level of support. We have the same probabilities for continuation in the next wave to the upside, and since we have an initial 5-wave move to the upside, I can track with good probabilities that we should expect at the very least another 5-wave move to the upside, even if it is within the orange interpretation where we form even a larger correction, an ABC structure. Even in such a scenario, we would still expect with high probabilities continuation with at least or for at least another 5-wave move. Now, assuming we actually bottomed within this larger wave 2, I could give you here even an ideal target for the third wave to the upside. Yeah, we have the wave 1 top, we have the wave 2 bottom. Well, I would be looking here at the $1,200 level for the ideal target, the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. But again, this is within the yellow interpretation. It could really be that we are in the white scenario and that a different pattern is needed, but right now this is my preferred scenario and this is what I'm focusing on. And besides this, in the smaller time frame, we can add a little bit more value, because in this structure I have actually a couple of options. So I could consider this to be, let's say, a 1-2 setup. This could be a larger wave 3 to the downside. I could see a 4th and a 5th still occur, but remember, this doesn't absolutely need to be the 5-wave move to the downside. In wave A, I could track this as a WXY pattern even, in which case I could consider this to be just an ABC movement. I would still expect further downside even within this interpretation, but not necessarily as much. So what are we focusing on? In this structure down, I would probably still prefer a few, at least one additional low, but even a few, yeah? And for this, I would be watching the levels of resistance up to the 61.8% retracement, because I cannot outrule the possibility of a diagonal structure forming. And yeah, this would be the levels between the $630 all the way up to the $640 level. A break above the 61.8% retracement would be a decent signal that this structure may have formed an early bottom, or yeah, at the very least this one, and a more direct breakout may occur, but I would still need to consider that, wait, maybe we actually somehow already completed here a larger A, B, C structure. But you see, within the wave C, I would really need an additional low. Yeah, I could consider that a bottom might be in place if we actually break above the last level of resistance here, but I would still need to see a break above the even next level of resistance for a third and a fourth. Yeah, this would be slightly higher, but I would need to see it for the next level, the next signal that this structure is going to break out, and that would be at the $653 level instead. Yeah, that is the level that if we break, I would have a pretty good indication that a bottom is in. Yeah, so we are watching two signals here for a bottom. First, the $640 level, first signal that this structure isn't necessarily going to extend lower, and then the $653.54 level is the signal that this structure has likely already bottomed. But right now, I do prefer for the continuation lower. Yeah, at the very least another low within this area, and then once we complete it, another fourth, another fifth. Ideally, this is within an ideal structure. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. And by the way, I say at the very least another low within this structure, because an impulse could form within this area, and then yeah, I would need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete an internal wave 3, a larger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete an even larger wave 3, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we are completing an internal wave 3 in the case of an impulse. In the case of a diagonal, just an ABC structure within this area could be enough. But yeah, for now, this is it. Have a nice day, and bye bye.